Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormy B Man, and I am back. Welcoming you to Friday Night Chop Session with Stormy B Man for this Friday, November 28th, 2025. This is number 205 in the series of Friday Night Chop Sessions. And we're calling this one Jessie Magdaleno versus Muhammadkhuja Yaqubov, which will be aired tomorrow night on PROBOX TV. Another round of fights on PROBOX, and we have learned throughout this boxing season that when PROBOX puts on a card, you may want to tune in because they usually provide entertainment and excitement, something in the bag for everyone. So we're going to talk about that card a little bit. We're going to talk about some news that has come down the pipeline this week and fights that are on the horizon. We've got a lot to cover, but we have to take our time because sometimes if you rush through things, you might miss a couple of important items. And the sport of boxing, like people have tried to proclaim that the sport is dying, is dead. Oh, it's far from that. It may be a lot of happenings that you may not be happy with, but that is the sport is far from dead. But we need to show life by expressing our displeasure with what we're finding of the sport. And it seems like more and more each day, new news is coming down the pipeline that we need to really voice our opinions and thoughts when certain information gets distributed. I want to acknowledge a couple of things here. I hope that everybody had a nice Thanksgiving. There are people who are less fortunate and people who don't get a chance to partake because of the absence of family, the absence of loved ones, the absence of love itself and care and concern. So this is a time of year also that we have to take time out and consider those who may be dealing with different struggles that we may be unaware of. So I just want to kind of say that, that we don't get too far beyond where we are without acknowledging that there is someone who may always need a hand up. So we got some people filing into the building, but also we already have a Cash App donation early in the show. Let me take a quick moment out to acknowledge our Cash App donation. Let's see here, was this is from Taziar Lennox asking, how was Tyson different from come up to champion? Taziar, we appreciate your donation. It would be nice that you take a moment out and kind of get a feel for what we're doing as we open in the show, because if you heard my opening monologue, I'm trying to establish a certain point of focus for the show, and we could save your question for a little bit later. The Friday Night Chop Session is typically a 2-hour show, so give me a chance to get through my itinerary, please, and respect my house, because you may have questions, but just because you send something in the Cash App, right at the start of what I do, if you've watched my show in the past, you see I do usually have a forum, a way that I go about conducting the show. And oftentimes when I take moments out to ask people questions and, you know, ask for audience feedback, people are typically mum and silent. So how was Tyson different from come up to champion? If you're talking about Mike Tyson, if you're talking about Tyson Fury, I don't know who you're talking about. You have to be a little bit more specific, and we will get a chance to address that appropriately. Just give me some time, please, and thank you. As we're starting to show off, we got Mr. Shelton out there in the chat. Columbia is back with us, saluting. Convos with Cam says salute, Stormy. Working early in the morning, peace and blessings to you always. Appreciate that. Universal Truth is back in the building, saying salute Sensei and salute chat. And Lone Star Steph is out there as well, saying be well, Sensei. Salute to the chat and thank you for the live this evening. Yes, sir. He says God be with you. God be with you as well. Thank you so much. PGH Big Dog just stuck his nose in the building. What's happening with you? Good to see you out there. Happy Friday to all of you. But yeah, we're dealing with a great deal of information coming down the pipeline. It was announced earlier that Sabril Matias has a fight on the horizon that he is supposed to face Dalton Smith. But an adverse finding in his blood sample has kind of shined a light of darkness on his upcoming bout with Smith, because the famous substance ostarine was found. Now, this is the thing about that. As it was reported on the 26th, his title defense against Dalton Smith may proceed, even though the New York State Athletic Commission says that it was below a certain threshold, 0.1 nanograms or milliliters, whatever that is. His A sample was measured at 0.085, which is below the threshold. If we all recall that just well over a year ago, in April of 2024, Devin Haney was taking on Ryan Garcia, who actually had an adverse finding of levels of ostarine in his system. And we went through a whole rigmarole about that situation with Ryan actually copping a plea against the New York State Athletic Commission that he was guilty. That part of the story is kind of often skipped or glossed over. But in order to receive what he thought putting himself at the mercy of the commission, he pleaded guilty. If you are an upstanding individual, you don't plead guilty for something that you're not guilty of. And we do know that everything that led up to that match with Haney spoke volumes about the possibility of Garcia not only being on something, but also taking other substances which can be viewed as masking agents while possibly trying to detox. It's a very ugly situation when fighters are using performance-enhancing substances to give them a competitive edge. And we're finding more and more that there are fighters who are doing that because they can't compete without having an edge. Skill sets, overall experience, desire, courage, confidence are all below the required field of being able to be considered at the top of the sport. So substance abuse runs rapid, but it doesn't just run rapid in boxing, it across professional sports. But boxing is the only sport that you're participating in where the objective is to put harm on the other fighter, the opponent. So if you're using substance to enhance your ability to cause damage to someone, in the long and short of it, we find that you are already fortunate and blessed with the ability to hurt someone, and if not put them in critical state, PEDs will put you in a state of murder because it's an enhancement, something that is not naturally a part of you and your physical makeup. An enhancement to make you stronger, faster, endure more, recover quicker, to sustain stamina over extended periods that are beyond the normal limits, and so forth. This is what we see. So when we're doing that, meaning taking substances that are banned, we're cheating at the end of the day. And so ostarine was found in Sabril Matias. Now, if I go to the records to find when was the last time that Mr. Matias competed, we will find his last fight was in July of this year against Alberto Puello. That's when he won the he won the WBC super lightweight title away from Puello with a majority decision. Well, the upcoming January 10th scheduled fight with Dalton Smith, these findings of ostarine means that at some point Sabril was using this substance. The levels that have been detected were so minute and minuscule that they were almost absent. A bit different from Ryan, where there were a much higher content of this substance found in Garcia's system. But here's the trick and catch, people. Ostarine is not naturally produced by the body. So that means at some point, Sabril was taking this substance. For what reasons? Only he could say. But he did take it. And it wasn't by accident. We have come to find out that over and again that these fighters who are popping dirty for banned substances often are giving the same excuse time and again, that they didn't know what happened, that their position will be vindicated, they will be found to be true, and this and that. And it's the same thing over and again. These guys are dirty and they're cheating, and it doesn't help when the president of a sanctioning body, such as Mauricio Suleiman, is acting out once again in lieu and support of a fighter that holds one of his sanctioning bodies, the WBC's titles. Matias is holding this title. And though he should be stripped, which is typically the way to go for someone who has failed a substance abuse test, he's opting now to change the acceptable levels of ostarine, as he did for Canelo Alvarez when it was found that he had clenbuterol in his system. You would have to consume a couple of whole cows to end up with the amount of clenbuterol that Canelo was found guilty of having in his system. So Suleiman's answer was to simply just raise the levels. He didn't even say to how much, to what degree. He just said that we're going to make it more acceptable. That means that Canelo, who was obviously taking something because he needs an edge. He's a very slight man in a division where the fighters are bigger, stronger, some are younger, some hit harder. So he needed a competitive edge. And you see, he hasn't really been knocking a lot of guys out, but he's been knocking guys down. He's been showing himself to be strong. But Canelo is a small man, very small. And Suleiman has helped him thrive. But it's obvious that they didn't think any immeasurable level of ostarine would assist him against the likes of David Morrell or David Benavidez. Thus, he avoided fighting both those fighters who were in contention for both the WBA and WBC portions of the 168-pound title when he was undisputed champion. So, here we are, once again, amidst controversy and turmoil. Suleiman is throwing his, I almost said some undesirable things, throwing his presence in the midst of this controversy to make it okay for a fighter that's holding his title. But let us not forget that Mario Barrios, who holds the WBC welterweight title, will be taking on Ryan Garcia in the near future. Now, funny thing about that situation is Garcia popped dirty, as I said earlier, with ostarine when he fought Devin Haney. So, if Barrios is going to fight Ryan Garcia sometime in early 2026, this ruling by Suleiman is going to benefit Garcia. Do you see a pattern here, people? Do you not see the play? Personally, if you are an upstanding, just fighter participating in the sport of boxing, flee from the WBC. If you are a champion that is looking to unify against a WBC champion, insist on full Olympic-style drug testing, because it's obvious that Suleiman is not going to play by the rules. He makes them up as he goes along. And that's something that the sport can definitely do without. Insist on testing. Your life depends on it, fighter. Your life. Because Suleiman has been known to invent belts and pull them out of the crack of where the sun doesn't shine, and will drape them on anyone's shoulder or around anyone's waist. He gives not a damn about you, but the fees that he can collect from you, fighting with his title on the line. Corruption at its highest. Disrespect and disregard of the fighter at their highest. Do you know that for fighters who are participating in the abuse of substances that are banned, are putting their own lives at risk, because you're putting something in your system that is not naturally there for periods of time. There is wear and tear that you do have to try and recover from. No one thinks about that. No one thinks about the psychosis, what it puts you through psychologically as you have these changes affect your chemical balance overall. Mood swings, rage, and depression, all of these things have been associated and attributed to almost all of these fighters who have popped dirty. Wasn't it just a couple of years ago that Ryan was professing to be depressed? Tyson Fury, wasn't he going through, and they were talking about he needing help because he was battling depression along with other circumstances? Now, mind you, none of these guys are taking anything to look body beautiful, with the exception of Conor Ben Vereen. Conor Ben Vereen, if you look at him now, his entire body has changed over the past couple of years. Skin complexion, the overall shape and build of his body, his cranium, everything has shifted. Nobody talks about this. And he pretty much walks around with this badass mentality that wherever he goes or whatever, he's just a second of being on edge. He wasn't always like that. But it's interesting that it has become a part of his personality. And some of the boxing pundits that are around him, that interview him, especially on the UK side of the sports world, they kind of walk on eggshells around him, because you don't know if he's going to snap and punch you in the mouth, or if he's just going to snap into a fit of rage with expletives and everything. And he wants to fight for the WBC title at welterweight nonetheless. So when you consider these things, Suleiman is at the center of it all, the absolute center. Why do you allow this, boxing public? Can you at least for once get your goat up and attack the real enemy in the sport? Do you know you have vetoing power over the likes of someone like Suleiman, who has no respect for you the people who buy the tickets. He thinks he's smarter than you. And I bet if you were to ever really have a sit-down conversation with him, he would come across extremely unintelligent. PGH Big Dog has joined us. What's going on with you? Tazar, I got your message there. I understand. I will address that. But I had to get on what my topic is first and foremost. PGA says the WBC is a straight criminal enterprise and biased as heck. Absolutely. Absolutely. 93 Octane 67 says Matia's situation sounds similar to John Jones' picogram explanation. Listen, they will find scientific legalese to express to the public so it will sound scientific that these findings and all of that, the biology of it all. Let me cut through the chase for everyone listening out here right now. The body does not produce ostarine. The ostarine has to be placed into your bloodstream, either through injection or orally. You can't sniff it and it becomes something that gets into your blood. And if there are only mere traces of it, is it possible that they tested the subject and it was a higher volume of it, but they waited until the levels dissipated until they could say, oh, it was only this amount, so that things could go and commence to go forward? More than likely, that's the case, people. They play you as if you're dumb, as if you're stupid, as if you don't have a clue. But you have to be better than that. Let no one treat you as if you don't have a mind of your own. Suleiman is a guilty party in this, people. And he needs to be really ousted for what he's done. It is not acceptable that someone like he continues to be the head of an organization like the WBC sanctioning body and continue to give grace to cheaters in the sport. What is the testing for if you're going to continue to move the goalposts, to raise the levels of what's acceptable in someone's system? People are getting injured. There have been ring deaths, and I am of the belief that there have been ring deaths involving performance-enhancing drugs, and there has been a huge cover-up. I heard one of my brothers say, I'm not going to say who it is, but I heard him say earlier today that, we wish that, and I second what he said, we wish that the FBI would get involved here because this is regarding people's lives. Because understand this, just like some of you support certain fighters, right? You support certain fighters. Some of you know some of the fighters, huh? Some of you have relationships with them. You grew up with these guys. They train in your gym where you work out and this and that. Whatever the case may be. Let's just say that it's someone that you know that is on the victimized side of things. Well, doesn't that hit home for you? This man is saying that it's okay for someone to have levels of banned substances. This is not like it's acceptable, but you took too much. Banned, meaning you're not supposed to use it. It's not supposed to be in your system. It is not allowed. And he says yes. Thank God all of the other sanctioning bodies don't have his mentality toward this. But it does show that each and every one of the sanctioning bodies have their own issues. And it is time to take a stance against this corruption. We don't need another ring death. We don't need someone injured and has to retire from the sport. We don't need someone with the loss of memory and can't remember what happened 3 months ago and things of that nature. When these men aren't putting it on the line in a battle for a prize, they have families to go home to. Just as you do. And it shouldn't be allowed. Why doesn't someone put his ass in the ring and punch him around in his fat ass gut with Ostarine filled power? I've done videos about this man. So this is not new coming from me. I've always had the position that I've had about him. He is a POS. Well, when are you going to wake up? Because tomorrow it could be your favorite fighter. Conor Ben hasn't fought at welterweight in 4 years. But he keeps talking about fighting one of the welterweight champions. Definitely not the IBF, because he doesn't want to deal with the rehydration issues with the IBF. But he sure as hell would love to get his hand on a WBC title, because guess what? He's a cheat. And now that he had this victory over Chris Eubank Jr. in their rematch, I kind of despise him even more, because though Eubank Jr. didn't want to talk about it very much or whatever, to stick to the clause and what was included in the contract for him to have that second bout with Ben, and they have those restrictions and stipulations against him and everything. Did Eubank Jr. look weak in that fight? Did he look like not himself? Did he look like he couldn't even put out what he put in the first go round? And he suffered from dehydration in the first fight, even though that Fight of the Year candidate, the second fight was nothing near that. And Ben didn't put out the type of effort in the rematch that he did in that fight. But it's like Eubank Jr. was the one who couldn't put out much of anything. He was dead at the weight and didn't want to talk about it. You know why? Because he was gracious to receive the bag. But I told you guys this before, and most recently, so if you hear it be repeated somewhere else, you know it came from me. Bags can have holes in them, huh? And sometimes when you're transporting what you received in the bag, that little hole and lining that where things can fall out, you end up with not the entire parcel because you drop some along the way. Just as Eubank Jr. did in that rematch. That's why you don't do that. You don't subject yourself to that. And the devil, Ed Hearn, found a way to remove the likes of Jaron Ennis from the division. Interestingly, Ennis wanted to be undisputed at welterweight. My allergies are acting up, so my nose is itching again. My goodness. Feels like I need to sneeze also. Anyway, how does Ennis go from saying that he has no problem making the weight to just a couple of months later saying that, oh, doctors told me I should move up? And all the time that he's been with Hearn, Hearn has been talking about moving him up to 154. That's because Hearn has wanted 147 for Conor Benn. That's why Conor Benn keeps talking about 147. I don't know how the hell he's going to get back down there. He's been at 154 or way above 147 for a few years. But see, where there's corruption, they can work together. He and Suleiman and Ben, they will come up with a plan for whomever has that WBC title. When he crosses those ropes, it'll be a shoe-in for him to come out victorious. Doesn't Conor Benn seem like the perfect WBC representative? Even more so than Ryan, because if Ryan got a hold of that belt, he'd lose it as soon as he fought against someone who said, hey, we're going to do this OSTD. Yeah. But Ben can cower in the woods of the UK and act like his dad did. Kong Island, huh? And this guy would be the mastermind of it all. Yeah. See, people don't see the play, man. This is why we talk about this all the time. We try to keep you updated. My show is weekly. Friday Night Chop Session. It's a weekly show. How many times have I talked about these guys? How many times have I talked about Suleiman and him visiting gyms and the passing of manila envelopes and things like that, allegedly, huh? Have you ever seen Suleiman show up in Devin Haney's gym? Have you ever seen Suleiman show up in Bud Crawford's gym? But boy, he's over there with Canelo and Reynoso. guys don't question anything, but you could talk about Devin Haney 8 ways from Sunday. Snack this, snack that. What about these motherfuckers that are snacking on Ostarine? Where the videos at? Where the reports? Where the breaking news at? Shout out to the brother Blue Blood, because he's always on top of these things. And thank goodness that he has the type of connections that we can get information as is sometimes still stewing in the pot. But there are other people with their ear to the ground. They won't say jack diddly poo about this. Just know, people, that the corruption will remain until you raise up and rail against this foolishness. Your voice is important, even if you don't think that it is. In other news, there is a proposed rematch that has been announced for these two men. There is no love lost between the two. Laywood and Josh Warrington. The two of them met once before in the ring, and it wasn't pretty. It was the type of showdown that, of course, it was a regional fight from the UK. These two have no love lost between them. So February 21st, 2026 is when they're supposed to face one another. It's going to be interesting. I like fights like this because usually you get blood and guts, nuts and guts. When they fought the first time, Wood defeated Warrington with a 7th round TKO stoppage. Warrington took his gloves and set them in the middle of the ring and said he was retiring. Yet and still, this is the type of fight where you want. It's a grudge match. They both have bad blood. At the time of the end of the fight, Warrington was ahead on the scorecards, 59-59 on 2 scorecards and 58-56. But Wood stopped him. Now, Wood is the elder man, 35 to 32 for Warrington. They have the same height and reach. Wood has that bonsai haircut that I hate. I don't know if that guy, why doesn't he go to a barber, man? But anyway, aside from that, he's a nuts and guts fighter over there. He's entertaining to watch. When he stopped Mike Conlon over in 2022, it was a great fight to see how he came back from being hurt early in the fight by Conlon and went on to knock him out late in the fight, knocked him through the ropes. It was amazing. His two battles against Mauricio Lara had Warrington looking like a guy who might need to retire. But then he stopped Kiko Martinez in 2022. And that gave him a shot in the arm. That majority decision loss to Luis Alberto Lopez, who was as awkward as they come, saw him just kind of decide, well, you know, maybe I don't have it no more. But sometimes all the fighter needs is a little bit of time away from the ring to recharge his batteries, replenish himself, clear his head, heal. And so now here he is back. So we'll see. But I look forward to it. It's an interesting fight. Very interesting fight. Other news from this week, we found that the Devin Haney camp had reached out to Rolly Romero and say, hey, let's go ahead for a unification. Now, Rolly, who has talked his pound of ish, though he has had plenty to say about Devin Haney, as Bill has been known to say, they say everything but less fight. The WBA crown rests well with Rolly at this time. His most recent fight was that May card in New York, Times Square against Ryan Garcia, where he had Garcia down on the canvas in the second round and went on to a unanimous decision victory. The Las Vegas native has been looking for an opportunity to face somebody where he can secure a lucrative payday. There have been rumors of someone like Manny Pacquiao, but again, the Haneys have cast that line out there, and he refused to bite. In our book, people, that's a duck. Rolly is 30 years of age now. 5'8" with a 68-inch reach. And how many of us remember Ismael Barroso that he fought in May of 2023, who had him teetering and looking like he was on his way going home? and not under his own power. Till referee Tony Weeks stepped in and was like, hey, we got to stop it. Somebody up there likes Rolly. Special ed is taken into consideration when we're talking about this young man. Devin is 27 with a 5'9" height and a 71-inch reach. In boxing skills that'll bedazzle him, and also strength at welterweight now that may be-sleep him. Rolly may talk like a fool, but he's not a fool until he signs that contract to get in the ring with the likes of Devin Haney. If you could see the play, you could see that boxing has a roadblock set up where they don't want Haney to be successful. They just don't. No more of this Floyd dominance, Floyd-like dominance. They're trying to head that off at the pass everywhere. That's why you see guys like T.O. and so forth. They didn't want to fight him. Pitbull Cruz didn't want to fight him. It's like everybody's turning down fights with Devin. But if he's pillow-fisted, if he's boring, why don't you get out there and make it exciting and knock him out, Walk through his pillow fists and get him up out of there. Get rid of him. Like Lennox used to say, get rid of the misfits of boxing. I'm not calling Devin that, but this is what they're trying to use as a reason that they won't get in the ring with him. It's all bullshit. Cowards. Cowards. Salute Black Martial Arts Society. You're coming in late, bro. I've already talked about that. By the way, I did a little touch up on my backdrop here. A little paint job, sharpening of the edges. So the picture should be quite crystal crisp at the moment. By Yah's will, salute to you. My opera, that was not a loss. It's a no contest. Ryan cheated, so he didn't deserve a win. If he hadn't cheated and performed like he had done, it would definitely be in the win column for him. But guess what? You don't play with God's children, and you don't play with God. Did Ryan not, during that promotion, make a mockery of God? And do we not know that Devin Haney and his dad are men of faith of Islam? You see, regardless of who you believe in, you don't mock God. And Ryan has made a mockery of himself ever since. The loss to Rolly, he was enrolled in drug testing, VADA testing. That's why he was so docile. That's why he wasn't having all those sound bites and acting all off the rails and everything in the promotion against Rolly. But if you notice, that behavior has returned. Oh, could it be because of what Suleiman has said? Maybe he got wind through Suleiman, because they do communicate behind the scenes. Remember T.O. telling Devin in his face, what happened with the meeting with Bob? What happened with the meeting with Bob? You see, what Devin don't know is, and we do, see? You guys think we be lying about this stuff. We be telling you the facts, and you still don't want to receive it. No, me opera. In general, good skilled boxers do not get the hate. Black athletic boxers with skills get the hate. Let's say it for what it truly is. Because they didn't hate Lomachenko. They don't hate Usyk. They don't hate Bivol. Huh? You heard me? See, this is why I enjoy it. If you want to come in and you say certain things to me, you know I always have something in the bag for you. So you might as well be careful. Because just because Stormy don't speak on it all doesn't mean he isn't aware of what's going on. Doesn't mean that at all. Yep. So Devin might end up going the IBF route against Crocker, but the only thing about that is Crocker's an Eddie Hearn fighter, and Hearn ain't gonna sacrifice Crocker to him. He's not. So to get back to Tazlar Lennox's question earlier, he was asking about Mike Tyson. In the super chat. The question was, how was Tyson different from come up to champion? Well, he fought a lot more frequently. And the more frequent that he fought, the more his timing and foot speed were prominent, because Tyson's skill set was built on a physical dynamic. He was elusive and quick-handed, Not as heavy a puncher as some may believe him to be, but he did punch hard. But it was fast. It was the speed behind the punches and the combinations that came in a succession and series of calculated placed punches. He had a numerical chart of punches that Cuss had mapped out for him. And as long as he fought in that style, it was going to be effective. Now, what happened to him after becoming champion, he didn't have to fight as frequently, and then the fame came, the ladies came, and then the desire to be a bit more arrogant and less practiced and prepared. And it caught up to him, like it will a lot of people. That's the difference. But always remember this about champions. This is why I refer to a lot as titleists or belt holders. A champion is someone who has endured and reigned, turned back challenges, didn't just accomplish and now you're champ. No, you sit there and you carve out your niche in the area of your success. Guys can chase the title and look great chasing it down. But then when it's time to defend, that's when you find out what they really have. Because when they're able to reign, he defeated this one, he defeated that one. This one was his toughest challenge. He still persevered. This one was close but no cigar. That kind of thing, you become a champion. You have a reign. And the reign is having done it at least 5 or more times of defending your title. And I'm not talking about 5 pick'ems. There has to be a couple of really real challengers during that. That makes a difference. So tomorrow night, PROBOX TV from Fresno, Robert Garcia Promotion. It's going to have a fight. Magdaleno versus Yaqubov. Featherweights. This is going to be great. Super featherweights. Now, Yaqubov, who happens to be from, what is it? They call it Tajikistan? I guess it's like Kazakhstan. It's like over there in those Slavic areas over there. He's coming in a southpaw with a record of 23-1 with 12 KOs. Oh, and they've changed it. He's gonna fight Christian Cruz Chacon. And he's out of Mexico. He's 28, orthodox fighter. Record 24-7 with 1 draw, 12 KOs. I see they changed it at the last minute. Well, not the last minute, but I think Magdaleno had an injury or something like that. But yeah, PROBOX TV, man. Robert Garcia promoting. He getting all that money, ain't he? Training them, promoting them. Man. It's one of those cards that's going to have a lot of the Latin fighters on there because Fresno, that's their town. But we'll see. There's a lot of boxing this weekend. It's just not a lot of big fights that you guys may be aware of the fighters. But it's going down, man. It's going down. Fights. There's another DAZN card on tomorrow. That'll be with these two gentlemen. You got Julio Luna taking on Dante Jardon. We don't know a lot about those two. They're fighting out of Mexico, but it'll be broadcast on DAZN. There's so much boxing, man. It's ridiculous. There's supposed to be a return to the ring of Elijah Pierce. I don't know if that fight has been canceled. Supposed to be taking on, I think that's Miguel Parra. Welterweights. Let's see here. Featherweight. Lorenzo Parra. Lorenzo Parra. That'll be ESPN Deportes and ESPN Plus. Lorenzo Parra. Parra is a Venezuelan. He's 23-1 with 1 draw, 17 KOs. 30 years of age. Elijah's 29, a southpaw. He's 21-2 with 17 KOs. But I don't see this on the schedule. They may have removed it. But that was supposed to take place tomorrow. Supposed to. My opera, he says, Roach versus Pitbull, who you got? Who you got? My opera. Huh? You guys don't listen to me anyway. So tell me who you got and why. Black Martial Arts Society says Tajikistan in caps, yeah. Ain't that something, man? All them guys, it's the same place, huh? Might as well say South Side, huh? J-Man says Garcia been putting in work. Ravens Nation says, who the hell was that fighter last week that looked like a 90s Robert Garcia twin? Didn't he look like Robert, man? I was telling people, I was looking at that dude. See, you know I've been around watching some boxing. If I could pull that out of the rafters, right? That dude looked just like Robert Garcia, man, when Robert was the featherweight champ. Yup. Grandpa, that's what his nickname was. How you gonna have a nickname in the ring of Grandpa? I don't know. But boxers do crazy things. Tazla Lennox says, thanks for the acknowledgement. Haney was already stamped himself in the Hall of Fame, though Max refuses to acknowledge that. Man, don't listen to nobody like Max Kellerman, man. Just take him like you would take a weekly soap opera, huh? Just like, oh, it's for entertainment purposes only, huh? But don't look at that man as somebody that, oh, let me go to Max to get the real, huh? You'd be better off coming here. Intelligent savages out there, what's good with you? I see you. Tazla Lennox says, when I think of a reign, Holmes comes to mind. Absolutely. 20 title defenses. That's something right there. Huh? Yeah. Ravens Nation said, I don't know Badu Jack was fighting December 13th until today. Badu Jack need to sit down somewhere, man. He really do. He's long in the tooth now, too. Ravens Nation says, shit, Zittel and Max Sellerman are not our friends. You better believe it, man. They are no friends whatsoever. Not in the least bit. Not in the least. They suck. Literally, they suck. In another bout that'll be broadcast on DAZN tomorrow, a battle of what can we say? Are these guys nobodies? You could kind of say that. It'll be on DAZN, but we get a chance to see these two big lugs. Huh? Light heavyweights Gradus Kraus and Rostam Ibrahim. These dudes are fighting in the Netherlands. It'll be on DAZN. And on the undercard, you got Hughie Fury taking on Michael Webster. And then a whole bunch of other guys that you don't know. And there's one dude named Tony Jaa. But not Tony Jaa from Ambach. This is JAS. Yeah, he happens to be fighting, I don't know. I never heard of that dude. Listen, Kraus and Ibrahim, they're fighting for the IBF European Light Heavyweight title. So you can bet that somebody gonna bleed in this fight, huh? They gonna be bleeding all over the ring. Kraus is 24 years of age. He's 8-0, huh? They don't even list his height in there. So he's a big stiff, huh? 8-0 with 7 KOs. And he tried not to smile in his pictures, you know. Rostam Ibrahim is 13-1 with 2 draws with 8 KOs. He's 33, fighting out of Germany. He might win, even though he's the opponent. That's how it is with these guys, man. They be like, you be trying to watch it. Oh, this is the favorite, and oh, down he goes, the favorite. Yup. Salute to Joe Townsend out there. What's good with you, bro? I see you. Ravens Nation says, personally, I'm mostly hyped for Zayas versus Baru and Kelly versus Murtazaliev. 154 is my favorite division right now. I know you are critical of Boots, but I think he clears all of the 154-pound champs out. Boy, you got high hopes for that dude, huh? That ain't gonna happen simply because he's with Eddie Hearn. Had he got away from Eddie Hearn or not even went to Eddie Hearn, I would have looked and saw him as having a greater upside. But Hearn has a way of poisoning people, bro. He does. You get over there and you get involved with him and things just go to shit. Yeah. I say stay clear of Hearn. if you want to learn. Yep. So Frankenstein and the Wolfman on the Zone tomorrow. These two cats. You can tune in sometime in the afternoon, our time, stateside. As if you want to watch some boxing, huh? But they got a guy that they really want you to check out, and that's this doggone kid that's the showboat, Ben Whitaker, huh? I'm not high on this kid at all. They're high on him because he's a showboat. He looked like he should be playing in the NBA or something, huh? But he's 9-0 with 1 draw, 6 KOs. Tries to be like the Prince, huh? With all this showboating and everything. But his fight with Liam Cameron back in October of last year, where he pulled Cameron over the top of the ropes after Cameron was taking him through the ringer, you know, he came back and avenged the defeat with it wasn't a defeat, you know, that no contest or whatever you want to call it, technical draw. But he knocked Cameron out in 2 rounds, which I thought Cameron gave that up. It looked like a real fixed fight to me. Sometimes you gotta know what you're looking at. And that's what I saw there. So everything ain't always as it appears, you know? It's not. Whitaker's gonna take on this guy, Gavoski. And Gavoski is 19-1. He's 30 years of age. But I don't know if he's coming to win or if he's coming to lay down. He's got 13 KOs on his record. He's fighting out of Germany. And you know, with those Germans, you could flip a coin. He could either come to win or he could come to lay down. We just don't know. And since he's an Eddie Hearn fighter, I would take it that he's coming to lay down. Ravens Nation says, unfortunately, he got 3 more fights with Hearn. I don't get these black fighters sometimes. I don't get them none of the times. These dudes are so dumb today, man. The moves that they be making really make you scratch your head, man. Be like, what the hell is really on his mind? Jonathan Simon, what's good with you? Dude, look at all these people that came in here to watch this show, but I only got 28 likes. It's over 100 and some people, man. Yeah, so next Saturday is Roach challenging Pitbull. Should be a good fight. These two guys, their styles make for an interesting matchup because Pitbull is going to try to get in his chest and then go through his chest. We don't know what Roach's game plan is. We'll have to wait till fight night, but we do know that he can box a little bit and he can fight on the inside a little bit. But will he try to fight Pitbull on the inside in times and increments, or will he try to take it to him? We don't know. We have to see what his game plan is going to be. Plus, you know, he's far removed from the junior lightweight division now, going up to 140 pounds, where Pitbull should have somewhat of an advantage, huh? Yeah, somewhat. But Pitbull is so one-dimensional. You know, if Rayo was able to, you know, handle him, maybe Roach would be able to handle him too. And Roach is more talented than Rayo, right? So, there you go. Just food for thought. Next week, the 5th of December, that Friday night chop session, I'll reintroduce my pound for pound thunderous top 10. There's been a couple of slight adjustments, but I'm excited to bring it to you. I can show it tonight, but I ain't, because we got over 100 and some folks that come out here, and 70 of them didn't want to watch, didn't want to even hit my like button. So there we go, huh? Sit on that. Coming over here watching me, but you don't want to hit my like button, huh? Good. I got something for you.
Got one elite fighter, just one.
You.
Me.
Look, when I stuff a mud hole in your asses, you're gonna be a nobody. You're gonna be just like everybody else.
Yeah. Bud Crawford is for the books, the history books, huh? He is. Yeah. What y'all think all them folks is doing watching me, but they ain't trying to hit my like button or whatever? That's a whole hell of a lot of people, man. That's because the face of boxing is black. They don't want to talk about no black face. You be answering your own questions with remarks like that. I think I've talked enough boxing for this evening. Some of you guys are just kind of like, you know, milling about, and that's okay. It's hard to get people motivated to do anything to support nowadays. Unless you acting ignorant and everything, they don't seem to have interest. And as I've said many times, you ain't gonna get that over here. So, I will bid you adieu. Hope you enjoy whatever you're gonna do for the rest of the weekend. I'm gonna check out some of these fights and we'll see what happens. I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC. And that's it. I'm out of here.
I'm about to punch your lights out. Get the fuck back, guard your grill. There's something wrong, we can't stay still.